Midnight. Rabbi Abba set out from Tiberias to go to the house of his father-in-law. With him was his son, Rabbi Jacob. When they arrived at Kfar Tarsha, they stopped to spend the night. Rabbi Abba inquired of his host, "Have you a cock here?" The host said, "Why?" Said Rabbi Abba, "I wish to rise at exactly midnight." The host replied, "A cock is not needed, but by my bed is a water clock. The water drips out drop by drop until just at midnight it is all out, and then the wheel whirls back with a clatter which rouses the entire household. This clock I made for a certain old man who was in the habit of getting up at each night at midnight to study Torah." To this Rabbi Abba said, "Blessed be God for guiding me here." The wheel of the clock whirled back at midnight, and Rabbi Abba and Rabbi Jacob rose. They listened to the voice of their host coming up from the lower part of the house where he was sitting with his two sons and saying, "It is written, Midnight I will rise to give thanks unto thee for thy righteous judgments." Psalms 119:62. The word "at" is not used, and so we assume that midnight is an appellation of the Holy One, be blessed, whom David speaks to thus because at midnight is the hour when he appears with his retinue and goes into the Garden of Eden to converse with the righteous. Rabbi Abba said then to Rabbi Jacob, "Now we indeed have the luck to be with the presence." And they went and seated themselves by their host, and said, "Tell us again that which you just said, which is very good." "Where did you hear it?" He replied, "My grandfather told me. He said that the accuser angels below are busy all about the world during the first 3 hours of the night. But exactly at midnight the accusations halt, for at this moment God enters the Garden of Eden." He continued, "These ceremonies above occur nightly, only at exactly midnight, and we know this from what is written of Abraham, that the night was divided for them. Genesis 14:15. And from the verse, "And it came to pass at midnight," in the story of Exodus 12:29. And from numerous other passages in the scripture. David knew it, so the old man related, because upon it depended his kingship. And so he was accustomed to get up at this hour and sing praises, and on this account he addressed God as midnight. He said, too, "I will rise to give thanks unto thee for thy righteous judgments." Since he knew this sphere to be the source of justice, with judgments of earthly kings deriving therefrom. And for this reason David did not ever fail to rise and sing praises at this hour. Rabbi Abba went up to him and kissed him and said, "Surely it is as you say. Blessed be God who has guided me here. In all places judgment is executed at night, and this we have certainly affirmed, discussing it before Rabbi Simeon." At this, the young son of the innkeeper asked, "Why then does it say midnight?" Rabbi Abba replied, "It is established that the heavenly king rises at midnight." The boy said, "I have a different explanation." Then Rabbi Abba said, "Speak, my child, because through your mouth will speak the voice of the lamp." He answered, "This is what I have heard. Truly, night is the time of strict judgment, a judgment which reaches out impartially everywhere. But midnight draws from two sides. from judgment and from mercy. The first half only the night being the period of judgment, while the second half takes illumination from the side of mercy. Hesed. Wherefore David said midnight. Upon this, Rabbi Abba stood up and put his hands on the boy's head and blessed him, and said, I had thought this wisdom only dwells in a few privileged, pious men, but I perceive that the children are gifted with heavenly wisdom in the generation of Rabbi Simeon. Happy are you, Rabbi Simeon. Woe to the generation when you have left it.